Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with my buddy Oscar Carano. Oscar is the colorist and also one of the artists on Longbox Comics. Oscar, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Oscar. I'm a colorist for 30 years, an artist and editor, and another comic related for 30 years now. I've been working for Marvel, DC, Image, IDW, Heavy Metal. I have a lot of, and Magma Comic, Raw Eternal. But now I'm happy to work with independent comic creators. I think there's a lot of quality and stories more than the big two.
Yeah, Oscar is working with myself. He's the colorist on the Mary Sue story for Heroic Tales 2, which is live right now. You can pick that up right here. And you also doing the coloring on Aaron Sparrow's Kneel Before Doom face.
Yeah. I'm about to finish that. I got the last 5 pages from Renzo too. If you like Hero Tales, you will love Doomface.
Yeah,
Kneel before Doomsday.
Kneel Before Doom face. Yeah. So this is every once in a while we'll do this every couple of weeks. We do art with Oscar, and you want to share your screen, and we'll start your
Yeah,
art?
sure. Let me.
I love this. This is you say such interesting things. I still like what you said about talent. That talent just means it takes less time for you to get the result, but you can still do it. I thought that was pretty inspirational.
Yeah, I try to. Um,
I thought I hit a button. I just hit a button. I thought I turned you off. It got quiet. So Oscar's going to share his screen, and then we're going to draw. We the first time we would just do a basic shapes. That the second time you were talking about heads and things
yeah,
like that. And here we go.
yeah.
We got a blank canvas, everybody.
Yeah, I try to share. I've been a teacher for a long time in art. I'm a visual art graduated in college, and I been a teacher a lot along the comic production, and I love teach, and I know between the independents are a lot of people who want to be a comic artist or make his comics and don't have the resources or the knowledge, and I try to do that, uh, share some of my experience in the comic industry for those independent comic artists or
Right.
future comic creators.
Yeah. And Oscar knows his comics. I'm always impressed by all the things he came up with. Uh, for the
Yeah. Before the comic creator, I'm a big fanboy.
right.
I started when I was 5 or 6 years with a Mexican reprint of Spider-Man 14,
Yeah.
the first appearance of Green Goblin and the Hulk. I remember the Hulk, and I don't remember the name of the villains. That band that has a big man named Ox,
Oh yeah.
uh,
The Enforcers.
the Enforcers. They are in the.
Nancy Dan,
Yeah.
Montana Joe, and Man Mountain Marco.
Yeah. I love it. I love the Steve Ditko issues of Spider-Man. I Spider-Man become my favorite superhero. That and Daredevil, that are my favorites.
Yeah. I Oscar and I are working on a comic called Eddie is Doomed, and Oscar's doing like the superhero portion of the story, and Tonic Wall's doing the real life portion of the story. So Oscar and I had a bunch of superheroes that I wanted to use, and then I'm describing them to Oscar, and Oscar goes, "No, that's wrong. This guy should be like this." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I created the character." I'm like, "No, but he's right. He's right. This is the way it should be. Your good instincts with your character development." And then
Well, I think
anybody
30 years in the business means something, no?
don't tell anybody the secret, but we were talking about King Fu, and you said no, this is what we got to do for King Fu. And I thought about it, and I'm like, yep. And I told Renzo about it. He's like, oh, that's gonna be great. So
But
I'm
it's only suggestions.
right, but
Yeah.
they're good suggestions. That's what I'm saying. You know your comics. You know how it would fit. So anyway, let's get to drawing. Let's get to drawing.
All right.
I got to do its clobber time at 8:30.
You're really the clobbering time is cat versus dogs.
What's that?
It is really clobbering time is dog versus cats.
Yeah, it's at 8:30. So we got a little over an hour to yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the last lesson was how to make faces.
Right.
Now I want to talk about something my drawing god John Byrne can do it. Is age. How the people age. Yeah.
Okay.
The
How to age up characters, like make young and old characters? Is that what you're
yeah
talking
yeah
about?
yeah
Okay.
yeah. I love
guys,
John Byrne, but he
We got a
can
bunch of
draw.
people watching. Let's throw in some comments. Let's give Oscar some encouragement.
Yeah, I love John Byrne, but I don't know how he can draw children. They are like a little gnomes or something like that.
Yeah, George Perez's children look like monsters. I assume it's hard to draw toddlers and children.
No. It's not difficult. I love. In Mexico, all the comic creators. For sometimes we admire Humberto Ramos. He was the first Mexican who hit the big company in Marvel.
Okay.
And for some time, almost all the comic creators draws like Humberto, and he's great doing kids. Even if you know the comic, the War Without Adults.
Okay. Yes, he did that. You're right.
He draw amazing child, and this is something we need to see. Do you remember in the first class I say it's different see than observe? Yeah.
Yeah.
See is like recognize for a first layer. You
Right.
recognize the environment, but not observe. Observe is
Is actively participating in seeing.
no, not like that. Is observe it is more like take a better look for details.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
if we see, we recognize, but if we want to draw it, we don't see all the details. And observe is like keeping more time in the details and study and know how the thing works.
Yeah.
And this is something that I want to recall. In the last session, in the past lessons, we start to studying or making how the geometric figures are assembled to make faces, to make bodies, to make everything. The sphere, the cube, and the cylinder are
Right.
the basic tools to assemble. And and it's easy to draw, but you have to make an effort to observe things and study how to work. And with age and with age of people, you need to study how do we grow. And it's so easy than look into mirror and see how was our experience of aging, and see how our body changed with the age.
Right. Like me,
let-
I get fatter. I get fatter as I age.
yeah. We had
I get fatter and I get
more
younger.
than 50. We have more than 50 years is a half of a life, and we know how we look at babies and teenagers and middle age, young adults, and we see all of change of our
Right.
character, and even if no nobody no everybody change exactly the same,
Right.
but we have certain
But you
patterns.
still recognize them. Like I haven't seen some of my friends since junior high school, and now that we're in our 50s, I still know who they are, even though they changed. This so you got to draw that. Like
Yeah, and there's a lot of environment
right,
future than change than another. In how we work is not the same. Comic artist has 16 hours a day sitting in a chair than a working you know I don't know, something physical like construction
yeah,
maybe.
construction. Yeah, I was waiting for you to say construction. Yeah,
Yeah, the guys who lift the bricks and the cement and other, they are a big shape uh,
yeah.
for the exercise.
On
For the
my job,
exercise.
you don't start fights with the steam fitters. Everything they lift is heavy. They're all big
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, and they can have the same age of us, and it's different body.
They're
Yeah,
all built like the Hulk. They're all so big.
yeah,
I'm curious because my next comic is going to be the Patriarch #1, and it's going to talk about his origin. So it's going to have a young character. So Renzo's going to have to draw the Patriarch now with the beard, and then he's going to have to draw him young, skinny. You know, his wife is going to be younger. The kids are going to be babies. You know what I mean? So that this is going to be fun to see because I know he'll do it right, and they'll be instantly recognizable, but they'll be smaller and everything.
Renzo is amazing. Going to be he's going to do a great work. He draw everything.
Right.
Fascinating. Well,
look at that.
You know, when the same characteristic I say in the class before for faces is exactly the same. It's the same figures, are the same guides. Just need to study how to work. Yeah.
Right.
When we are baby, like this one is a baby before a year old. Yeah, like 2-3 months old. The babies are all round, like a puppy, like a teddy bear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the guide of the eyes is always down. The front is large, more large than his face. And is something weird with the ears because we develop the ears at the size that we always have, but because I don't know exactly why, but that's why the child seems like a big ears, but it's the size we always have. And the babies had always sleepy, is very round. He seems like a Funko head, but he's the guy that the draw look like a baby.
Right.
Yeah. If you draw a center line like an adult or a teenager, he is going to look more adult than a child. If you down the guide of the eyes and all the face and keep half of the head as a front head, it will look like a baby. Yeah. If you see the the kids like between 4 and 6 years, they are a hurricane. They are more skinny and more agile and always surprised for the things he looks because it's the first time they look and surprised for everything. And they always have that surprise expression in his head. Yeah, they are still round, they are still the big Funko head, but the eyes guideline is up a little bit. He just a big he still good look. He still have the big front head. How do you say the
Forehead.
his forehead? He has the big forehead,
How do you say that in
but
Spanish? How do you say forehead in Spanish?
frente,
Frente?
frente
Okay.
is la frente. But in this age, he's still round. He's still big head, but the eyes is still growing. The ears is still growing. He has all the eyes is still a little bit up the guideline, and always have the smile and the surprise expression. Yeah, when you grow a little more like a little teenagers, then between 7-10 years, more or less, they start to become teenagers, and with the teenagers they come how they act, how they grow.
Okay.
The eyes is still a little bit more. When we grow, the face is first low the head, and when we still grow, the face is going up a little until
Is it because the jaw develops and it makes the head, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah the head grows, the skull grows,
okay.
but the face is still accommodating to more the center.
Okay.
But when we are kids, the face are down. Yeah, if
Okay.
we grow teenagers or late kids, teenagers, young adult, the face is still up until it's center for the grow up phase. You know, he is understand. When we have a 6 to 10 years, the face is more centered, but you know how the teenagers look like we grow in parts, like first the ears, like the nose is big, and then the eyes, and then one arm, and all. It's like a deformed human, but it's because we're still growing and still developing all the parts. And in between this age and 6 and 10 years, our body is still adjusting.
Okay.
The still a little round, but the eyes are more
Excuse
like
me.
an adult. The ears are more bigger, and the expression, you know, like the last lesson, I say that we can draw perfect anatomy, but if you don't pose it or don't have the attitude we want to know, we want to have, um, is look like other thing. The drawing can be perfect, but if you don't accompany it with expression and posing and acting, there's can be another ex, how do you say, another impression.
Oh, expression, a facial expression.
Yeah, no, maybe if you draw a kid like a kid exactly, but you don't pose it and acting like a kid,
Yeah.
he don't look like a kid.
Right.
He
Yeah.
look like an adult with a cosplay or something.
That's George Perez, one of my favorite comic book artists. But when he drew little kids, they just look like miniature adults. They didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah. That was his biggest weakness was children.
yeah. Maybe it's because he's on like John Byrne. He draw like a adult faces.
Right.
He's not he's not a person. But George Perez is a good an excellent drawing.
Right.
But maybe the poses or the acting is not right. That he don't look like a children, but a doll.
Like,
No.
Crenshaw says that Greg Capullo and Jim Lee should probably have watched this. I like both their arts, but I'm not super familiar with them the way I am like George Byrne and but did they have problem drawing children? Anybody watching can back substantiate this?
Look, it's something like we use it to draw what we know.
Right.
If you are a guy drawing superheroes, you draw men very exactly. But
Right.
some artists draw a woman with manly poses and don't look like right. And even if the draw is good, and it's the same with the girls. Is if a girl comic artist draw men, then maybe the draw is excellent, but the posing and acting is more girly and it don't look good. But it's because we are used to see us in the mirror all day, all the every day more and more, and we know exactly what anatomy and how it works. And if we don't have contact constantly with another humans or don't have kids and you're in your studio all day and don't see kids, you just imagine how this works and maybe don't know exactly how it works.
Right.
When we have more growing in a teenager, like 12 to 16, 17 years, we have more, in that age, almost all the kids are a little fatter, because it's the time when maybe you are more out of the house, you are rebel with the parents, you start to socializing with another kids, and it's a little punk age, It's still start to get pimples and eat young food without the parent knowledge, and the head, the face is almost the center as an adult, but we still have the some future like the big ears, like the surprising eyes, maybe change with the hair. In that age is when all the hormones is spill out and have the major change, and in our bodies and our attitude, we start to acting.
I just want to. We got a whole bunch of comments. I just want to give everybody, make everybody feel welcome.
Yeah.
Old Dirty Fatty says, "Why am I not drawing a lawn? Because nobody needs to see my drawings. They're terrible. They're terrible. The only people who see my drawings are Oscar and Renzo when I give them character designs, and so and then Oscar and Renzo make them good. Why?
Yeah, but it's not terrible. Yeah, it's just lack of practice.
Right.
Because even Leonardo da Vinci does. I don't think he does draw well in his first drawings.
Right. I used to draw better. It's just my hands hurt these days. Niobe Comics wants to know, why am I aligned with Comic Gate to promote your book? I will say I will go on anybody's channel to promote my book. I got to sell books. I got to get in people's faces. I don't care who you are, why you are, or whatever. if I could get on your channel to sell my book, I got to. Renzo and Oscar are depending upon me for to get money, so I take that responsibility. So and who said I'm aligned with Comicsgate? Who says I'm aligned with Comicsgate? You don't know me at all. Do you know Comicsgate is a head Comics Group? Comicsgate is whatever it is. It's run by Ethan Van Sciver, and he don't like me, so I don't know what to say. What do you want me to say? He did 2 nights of trash cast on me, so I don't know what to say.
No, but it's pretty word.
Now, Rob Liefeld can't draw. Logic's finest. Robert Liefeld can't draw human anatomy correctly. He would benefit from this masterclass. There you go, Oscar. You could teach Robert Liefeld how to draw.
he has his fans. I don't like a lot of his work, but he is a master. He know how to draw, how to keep his fans and
right.
Did you see the new issue of Youngblood? He had a crowd, an enormous crowd in the comic shop he seen in.
I just don't. I don't like his drawing. I like him. He seems like a nice guy, but his art never did anything for me. But apparently I'm wrong. Everybody else seems to love it. I don't know who Larry is. Okay. I saw your chat. I answered. I mean, I'm not going to respond to threats or anything like that. This is supposed to be fun drawing class, so I don't know what you're getting at. But whatever.
Anything you want to ask about drawing?
Yeah, it's supposed to be about.
I'm here.
Marcus is a good artist too. Marcus, I got work I'd like to do it for Marcus. I believe it or not, I do practice. But it's going to take me decades to get anywhere good. Almost everyone in comics cares and dislikes Comicsgate.
I don't know. You know I know a person.
You're trying to start. I'm not interested in the fight. Okay.
I know a person that she can draw a straight line, and in a year with a lot of practice, she's a master of drawing, a master completely.
Who is this?
It's I don't remember the name, but it's a Mexican artist. In a year, he becomes the draw nothing to work with video games and rock band posters in a year.
Okay.
But it's not easy. It's not magic. You can study. You know your tools. Know your methods, and practice. And at least a year you can do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's continue here.
Okay.
In a next phase, like 18 to 25, is like a young adult. Is not become an adult. Is maybe this person is still living with his parents, but he's out of college. He is going to his first work, and his attitude is something else. You know, when you out of college, you are a lot of hope. You are happy to start working, and you maybe start to eat well and shaving and be present for your work.
Right.
You know, in this phase, almost all the phase is centered is how is the guidelines are for the rest of our life. You know, maybe this is not exactly the same, but it's a progress for this particular person. Right. Maybe in this guy in his teenager years, maybe he ate too much, he discovered, and in this time 18 to 25, maybe is a big guy with no work and with other attitude, and maybe he shows something. he saw something more than this guy. But that's exactly why I try to say that we need to study how the possibilities are growing. If you maybe I trying to with that example is a progression of a character. This exactly character. But if you have a character in your comic, you need to know, even if you don't design it, but you to know how was his childhood, how was with his teenager years, to know how he act and he is his body to this exactly time of your character. This is something we need to study in character design. Character design is not only drawing people, drawing superheroes, or drawing villains, or drawing creatures. To get a great character design, you need to know his story. You need to know how he been through his life, to know how he act, how to react to a situation, how to grow, how he has his body, how he move. He can be a big superhero, but if his childhood has a phobia with dogs, maybe he has a big superhero, but he sees a dog, and he will petrify. Yeah, and it's part of his character. It's a character design. As an adult, is all the like 25 to 40 years is a peak. It's like we drawing a mountain is the peak of the mountain. Between 25 40. Between 40 is a little slow down, and everything is decaying. But as an adult is more centered people, more productive people. Maybe for that production you start to wear glasses because of the more now, because the computer screens and all the phones and everything start to using glasses. You still grow.
I don't have glasses on, man. I can't find my glasses. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, me too. I started using glasses like 16 when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
And I find I need glasses because I don't see the blackboard on the class. I start to copying the guy on my side, and I figured it out. I need glasses, and of course, but it's because our work. Our work is a lot of time in the screens with the computer and the phones and everything, the TV. It is more people think that seeing TV is a procrastination, but for work it's a little procrastination, but it's a research. When I look at movies or I see series, I see that I enjoy the series, I enjoy the story, but I look the lighting, I look the composition. It's when you are used to draw or to paint something, you it's not a job of 8 morning 4 in the evening. It's a lifestyle. You cannot drop the eyes of trying to see your own work in this image. When I see a big how do you say when the sun is down?
Sunset.
Yeah, sunset. When you see sunset, most people enjoy the sunset. I see a Photoshop screen and see how with what brushes I can do that colors and that clouds.
Hey, Matt. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, Matt. Hello. You know, when we start to grow bigger, like 40 to 60, is more like a late adult. You know, I don't know how to say that in English.
Uh, elderly.
And I
No,
don't know if it's elderly, but because at that age I'm in that age, I don't consider it elderly. But wait, it's a late major. It's a late.
yeah, older adult. We'll say older adult. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know, you start to.
We're not old men yet. We're not old men yet.
No. I don't feel old yet. But
Yeah.
but we still have the features of the older age, like gray hair
Yeah.
in our beard or hair. Some wrinkles start to show more. How do you say the wrinkles below the?
Bags under the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That becomes more visible, you know. And it's a great age. It's I don't feel older. Have a lot of experience, but the body wants his invoice. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Once you hit this group, when you walk into a room, you're looking for a place to sit down.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm how do you say it? I'm conscious that I'm not faster than I was 30
Right.
when
Yeah.
I was 20. When I was 20, I got I can make 3 or 4 pages for Marvel, you know, but I can do 2, and my hands is still hard, my back is still hard. I don't you know, I cannot still sit in a chair for a long time because my head, my spine is still hard. You know.
At one point, before I became a construction worker, I was seriously thinking about becoming like a long haul trucker, driving across the country. You know what I mean? In a big old truck. And guys that I was talking to are like, "Yeah, your back hurts all the time." And I'm like, "What do you mean your back hurts? You're sitting in a chair all day long." You know, but
Yeah,
your back does hurt even from sitting in a chair all day long. Like when I was out of work because of my neck, I hurt my back from sitting all day long. I would have to get up and walk around. So I can only imagine you artists that
yeah. I'm start to buy, and I'm getting excited finding those. I don't know how to say this little seat coach for adults for if, let me show you
what you doing, Oscar?
like this.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got that too because I threw my back out just sitting in this chair reading comic books. You know, now I'm at work. I'm at a job where I do a lot of walking. My back is fine. I go to work. I sit down at lunchtime and I have a coffee break. I sit down, but for 8 hours a day, I'm walking through these tunnels through Manhattan carrying stuff. My back is great. My hips are great. You know,
And you know this few years, our conduct or behavior is a lot worse because a lot of people, more adolescents or more teenagers or young adults, they become problem with his spine, with his neck and back, because of all the days they have the head down with their phones.
Yeah.
And it is still evolution or
We're supposed to be moving. Yeah, we evolved.
yeah.
Yeah.
They start to develop a hunchback for the behavior with their phones. You know, it's in a few years the late adults, they are going to be like a hunchback body, you know. And then we go to elderly, like 65 to 90 death, and all the futures uh, is become to drop, like the ears are still growing. I don't know why the ears grow in the elderly are more, the lobes are growing and down. Uh, the hair is still losing, and as they are little bald, they start developing some stint. How do you say the things, like a manchas, like these little dots?
Oh, liver spots, we call it in English.
Yeah, and more wrinkles, more wrinkles.
Yeah. Marcus says that we should all work. My father got an early retirement. He retired at 55, and he did nothing. He just laid on the couch and watched TV and got fatter and fatter and died. You know, so I'm learning for that. When I retire, I got to keep moving. I got to do something.
There is a book, a great book. Is named Darwin Strong.
Okay.
I don't remember the author, but he's a cartoonist that published a book with exercise for drawing people.
Okay.
You know, to be, because for his experience, he started to get some meals for drawing. Start to sitting all day in a chair and do nothing, and start to become an issue with his health. You know, and he published that book that is amazing for if you are a illustrator or comic artist, or you simply sit all day in a couch. It's a simple exercises to
Right.
don't develop the carpian. I don't know how to say that carpian tunnel.
What?
Yeah,
The wrist?
the lesion of the wrist and the neck and the back. It's a great book if you consider to become a comic creator or a drawer. Maybe it's something you are interested.
Chuck
No?
Dixon tells a funny story. He goes, I used to work with Chuck Dixon says, I used to work with Graham Nolan back when he was Dr. Banner, but now he's the Hulk. You know, I met Graham Nolan last year at the cigar party, and he's got his muscle shirt on. What is he, 10 years older than me? And I wouldn't fight him. I'm not fighting Graham Nolan. He's a tough guy, man.
Yeah, you know the when you are a comic artist, your hands and your body is your tool.
Right.
If you don't work something, the tool is start falling, and it's all we have. You know, if something happened to my eyes or my hands, I'm completely useless.
Oh,
I don't know to do anything more. You know, and I hope I don't have a body to OnlyFans.
Oh.
Well, there's some question about the age. How we age?
Yeah, I like it because it's recognizable at every step. You know.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Do you measure the distance of the eyes? I imagine so. Whenever you draw a character, you have like the same distance. Like
I try to. You know, when we start to draw, we need to pay attention to all the future, to all the rules. But when we start to we draw all day, draw pages, draw, I don't measure everything.
okay,
But I don't think so. I skip a phase because all is in my head. Maybe more than draw all the lines, all the measures. I did it in my head before I start drawing. And when you draw like 5, 10 years, uh, most things are automatically,
Okay.
you know. But it's not that I skip phases. It's like I have the experience to draw that thing because I draw it for 20 years, you know.
Okay.
But like I say in the class before, in the last class, when I don't know a thing, I need to look for reference. I need to study how to work, you know, like horses or motorcycles or some kind of car, kind of car. I don't know. Maybe I draw in some sci-fi, and more of the technology is invented, but it's not like I say. The imagination is not come from nowhere. If I invented a car, a sci-fi car, it become from some uh, how work how cars work before, and thinking in the evolution of the cars, how will go, you know, and that's as imagination. It's not from nowhere. It's for the knowledge from evolution, from years of cars, or evolution of technology. We can not imagine, but we can uh, expect something for the evolution. You know, when we had movies or comics from the 30s or 40s, they expect in the 2000s there are skyscrapers and flying cars, and we have robots as a servants, and don't know, you know. But we didn't have a lot of evolution of the technology until late 80s, you know. When we start the computer, the evolution was every 2 years, every 3 years. You know, if we want to know how to a car will evolve in 20 years, maybe we need to start to know how evolution was like that. Where we are right now, we are with autonomous cars, with uh, electric cars, not flying because they are. Um, Imagine if we don't drive well in Earth, you can imagine how tragically going to be flying cars, you know. Well, let me continue.
Sure. Sure.
How the time we have.
We could go 15 more minutes.
All right. Uh,
I enjoy this, Oscar. I think this is fun.
as a use an advance for the next class, if we know how to construct phases, and you know how to age phases, the most important in this is still observing how to act, how going to give a personality to our characters, you know. And this is about expressions, you know. In the expressions, maybe we know the basics, you know, and we have a lot of um, samples with the emojis. The emojis is a huge examples of reactions expressions, you know. And we know the basic, like a happy, like a sad, like a angry, like a scary, like a scare, or how you say scare or fear.
Yeah, scared.
Scare, happy, sad, angry, and scare. But the problem is, like an Image Comics, everyone has a furious faces, and maybe they are talking something nice, but they have a face that don't belong to the text in the comic. You know, I remember I I had a laugh. Everything everyone I remember that, but I was into Japan movies. I love the Japan cinema,
Okay.
and I remember in a movie is a scene, a romantic scene, and the samurai have his lady in his arm, and the eyes they are seeing each other with a lot of love, and the guy start to and they talk like I was angry with the lady, and I feel that the Image comic or late night the no the first early 90s comics, mostly all the characters have the same faces. No reaction, no. Use Maguire in GLA International.
Yeah,
He is a master of expression.
John Byrne always had the same faces on everybody.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah,
But Kevin Maguire nailed it with expression. I don't think they used to League International with another artist. Even when Maguire step off, and become another drawing, lost a lot of the.
Yeah, he
of the-
was good with facial expressions. He's
yeah, it was a sitcom, and the faces and the acting and the posing, it was a lot of fun to read. You know, Kay Giffen has a great stories and great scripts, but Maguire expressions and acting there were what GLA International is famous for. You know,
yeah.
and this become because Maguire study a lot of how to the people react. You know, maybe if in a comic I want to draw someone happy, maybe a smile is how I draw. If I want to draw someone angry, maybe the eyebrows and the mouth with the teeth pressing the teeth become my drawing, you know. But the important with expression is to know why. Why is that expression? Yeah, because happy is not a simple expression. Sad is not a simple expression. It has a lot of levels. You know, is happy in a first level is just like a satisfaction. You know, every expression needs to be connected with a situation. Yeah, if it don't work, you know, you need to know why your character has that expression. What is the situation he is into to react like that? Expression is a reaction to a situation. You know?
Yeah. Amanda Connor is another one who's great with expressions.
Yeah. She's great. She's great, and I think she has a lot of Maguire in his art. The style, it looks a little Kevin Maguire. You know, she's great. I love the you see the comic. I became aware of her is the pro comic.
Yes.
Like, she's a prostitute superhero.
Yeah.
It's amazing that
She's
comic.
fun. Yeah.
Well, you know, Happy has a lot of levels, you know, and I can say 5, but it's like a 20, 30, it's a lot. But if you hide the expression with a situation, is how do you need to draw it? Like the first level of happy. What do you think is the situation? Is the first level.
I see what you're saying. You don't want to make the expression too much for the situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me put it simple. The first level of happy can be satisfaction.
Right.
When you are doing something, you have an effort and you do it in time and happily good.
Okay. That's
and
good.
You are satisfied of that. You don't laugh.
Right.
No, you put a little smile and you know you do it right. I need a satisfaction. I'm happy, but not that happy that I in the floor with laughing and crying. I'm not crazy. I just satisfied.
Yeah.
The second level maybe is a little bit more, but it's not laughing again. Maybe you are hungry and you picture in your mind a hamburger.
That works
and
for
you
me.
and you picture this. You picture the taste. You're hungry. You picture the taste of hamburger, and you go where the burgers are sold, and you order one, and you make a bite, and eat exactly the taste that you think. You're happy.
Right.
Not to laugh, not to satisfy, but it's like it's good. It's a good day. Yeah. It's another level of happiness, but not that extreme. But it's another level, more level than satisfied. Yeah. You're happy. Even you need to think in a situation how you react, and you don't mostly early or newbie artists, you draw a face. You're like an empty con, but it's like a robot with a sticker in it. You need to feel the situation. I take a bite of my burger and say, "Oh, it's good." How your body react? You maybe your shoulders go up a little, like a little hug, like a you hug you, and you close a little your eyes, you smile, you maybe get a little to the left or right of your head, you tilt your head,
Yeah.
But you need to feel the situation to draw expression. It's how you like a comic artist. You in the first time you're an actor. Yeah. You need to know how your character feel to draw well. How you the next happiness level. Number 3. What's the situation? It's not laughing, but it's a little more than the happiness than the second, that the burger happiness. How do give me or given me the people who are seeing this, name a situation, next level.
That I look at that expression and I'm like, number 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number 3, I call it the Muppet face.
The what? What do you call it?
The Muppet face.
Yeah, it looks like a Muppet. Like I would see like your kid did something cute. Like you're happy, proud. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I tell you my situation.
Okay.
I have a friend. I don't see it for a long time, and I'm walking on the street and I see it. I see him.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your expression? A Muppet face. You open your eyes, you look places, and it's a smile because you appreciate that guy and don't see it for a long time, and
Right.
it's a big surprise. It's a good surprise.
Pleasant surprise.
Yeah, you don't laugh or maybe later, but in that time when you recognize it, it's a Muppet face. I have a dog, a Dachshund, and everyone see my dog have a Muppet face.
Okay.
Like, oh, it's a Dachshund. You know, it's happiness, more happiness than a satisfied or a burger taste, but it's more happiness. I open the mouth a little. I see my happiness. I open the eyes, and maybe my body expands a little. No, if you related to a situation like that, you know, you try to remember all the situation we live is still in our head. It just need a starter, like a smell or a sound or a situation to even feel again that situation. When you see a photo and you remember the situation you have in that photo, you feel all again, all that memories, all that feeling you have in that time. It's the same. When you need to draw a character in a situation, you need to remember something like that to feel and feel to study how our body move in that situation. You know, what's the next level? You have a Muppet face. What's the next level?
I would call that like a guffaw.
Like a what? Pardon?
A guffaw. Like that's a word for like a big laugh. A big laugh.
Yeah, not that crazy that my stomach hurts with the laugh and start crying. But yeah, someone says something very funny, or you are in a funny situation, or you are in a very happy situation, like hanging with your friends, and they're talking some situation in the past. I see the interview you have with your pal Mike, and those how do you say anecdotes, your past memories.
Oh,
I see that face in Mike and you.
yeah, the nostalgia,
No, it's like remember recalls.
childhood
Yeah.
memories.
I don't know. We say like anecdotes in Mexico, but you have a good memories,
Yeah,
and you laugh. You talk about the when your barn don't see you, and you are angry, and Mike laughs. I have that face in Mike. You know, it's having a good time. It's laughing. You. Uh, you move. You don't look like a robot. You move your body. Is going to back. Your head is a little higher. You open your mouth, maybe close your eyes a little, but it's a happy, more happy than a Muppet face, you know. And maybe the fight level is something very funny. Then you drop to the floor, and you uh, got your jaw and your stomach hurt for the laughs, and you crying for the laughs, no? And it's uh, a big sound of laugh.
yeah. That last one. That's the face I make when my sister falls down.
Yeah, but it's you need to picture a situation to good a good expression. You need to know why your character is in is seen to draw the good expression.
Right.
You know,
You don't want to put it. That's bad acting. Then if you're at the funeral and you're kneeling in front of the casket and you're drawing that happy face, it's going to throw the
no,
whole story off. Yeah.
yeah, no, but even if he want to, if the expression is sad, you need to know the level in that situation.
Right.
Like the first sad is like disappointment. You know,
Yeah.
you see something wrong,
That's-
and you not, and you are sad. But this is the
That's when you drop your ice cream cone.
yeah, and maybe I have a lot of situation, but
Right.
the last situation is something like you are crying,
Right.
about to suicide for the sadness, no? Totally depressing. Angry is like how do you say molesto? You are
Bothered.
bother. You know, it's not like you going to go to fight, but it's something you are not good with that situation, no? And grows in with a situation in the last that you are completely furious berserker, go to fight,
Yeah.
you know. And scary is the same. You maybe the first time is like and you are it's a little surprise, you know. Maybe not that scared, but it's you open up a door and there are a surprise party, and
Yeah.
you make that, and the last expression is totally petrified. You
Right.
know, you can move your entire body compress, and you can move. You can cry. Yeah, there's no voice because you are so scared to you can make any move. You know, there is a lot of in between expression with the same scare thing. You know, with the only when you are with expression in the face, you need to more put attention with our eyebrows and mouth. You can eliminate nose, you can eliminate eyes, but your eyebrows and mouth is what marks that expression. And think about the situation. You know, maybe later you can add like this one. I can add a hands to more expressive.
Right.
Like this one is like a mad, like start to smashing the table, you know, and start to split how how do you say that is the ah water from my mouth, the saliva.
Salivate. You're salivating.
Yeah. You start to splitting to everyone because you are screaming, you know.
Yeah.
And
Dirty Fatty says, I don't know about anyone else, but I openly weep when I drop my ice cream. That face
yeah,
with the
why this is the face for dropping an ice cream. You are from here to this, you know. You are happy. You clack.
The angry face with the fist, that's me when somebody's walking slow in front of me. Oh my God, slow walkers. Slow walkers.
I don't think you want to smash a guy.
But, you don't know me well then.
But maybe this face is for that situation.
Yeah.
You are angry. You are angry. You are hurry. You are angry, but not to get a fight.
We got to stop now because I got to get ready for it's clobbering time.
Sure.
So
next time, maybe in the next class, maybe we go to bodies.
Okay.
And to go to expression with body.
That sounds fun. I enjoy these. These are a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm a lot enjoying that too. Hope everybody.
Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm gonna take a 10-minute break, and then I'll be back here with Brian Christow as our guest. Martin Kelligrew is a co-host, and we're gonna be doing It's Clobbering Time. We're gonna be talking about the Patriarch vs. Six Gun Gorilla. So two indie comics.
And please spread the board, spread the word that Hero Tales 2 is better than 1.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a lot that we do it with a lot of heart in a lot of quality. Renzo is in his best,
Oh, yes.
and my coloring, I can talk about it.
It's so good. It's so good. I've been
Yeah.
sending out copies of Mary Sue to a couple of people to get some feedback, and they say it's so good. So
Spread the word, considering to pledge.
right, but I gotta go. Bye bye, everybody. I'll see you later. Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.